All right, welcome to another exciting edition of As the Journey Turns. This time brought to you by Paul Mall. No, so you're not allowed to advertise cigarettes on TV anymore, are you? Back in those days, you could. Yeah, Paul Malls. They'll make you talk like this. You'll talk like Dr. Fauci after a pack of Paul Malls. Um, why would I think of Paul Malls? I don't know. See, folks, it's all scrambled in there. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little bit older. So another edition of As the Journey Turns, this time featuring the great Neal Schon, the great guitarist from Journey, the greatest guitarist that's ever played a guitar. All right, there you go. Neal Schon, the greatest. And here he is. He's looking great. I mean, whoever's doing the photography for Neal, holy crap, Batman. I mean, that's like a postcard. I'm going to send that to all my friends. That's killer. Even the crowd looks surreal. Everything just looks wow. And then you get the guitars here because the camera, the in the arena, and then you get the Twins logo here. So they're in Minnesota, the home of Governor Tim Walz. Yeah, what a great governor, huh? All right. Never mind about Tim. Tampon Tim. Neal Schon, the original and only founder in Journey that's been there from the very early inception in 72. Again, I look at Wikipedia, it says 73. People have sent me messages saying it was 73. I don't know. I guess it's 72. We'll go with 72 because Neal says it's 72. And has played in, not on, but in every single show. If he played on every show, I don't know how that would work. He'd be like up above on top of the show. Never canceled once. That's amazing. That's like never missing a day at work. That is pretty impressive. Co-wrote and played on every single album. Okay, sure. I think that's true. John Kane, I asked to join in 81. Now, the 72 and the 81 and dates, and see, people get on me too when I mess up things, and this isn't really that important. I'm gonna focus on something else, but so I went back and listened to John talk about his journey into Journey, and he talks about his solo career and the fire when he was a kid, and then the babies, and then he goes from the babies to the road manager from Journey calling him up. And he says, "Hey, JC, would you like to be in Journey?" And John's like, "Huh? What? You want me in Journey?" And he goes, "Yeah, this is what the road manager says. We decided we wanted you to join Journey. You're in. There's no audition. Just come on over and be in Journey." And so there was no, "Hey, Neal says that we want you in Journey." Look, I'm sorry, you had Steve Perry there. Steve Perry was definitely a part of the decision-making process with regard to new band members. And again, I would put it out there for just a common sense argument that Herbie Herbert probably had the final say. I mean, Herbie brought Steve in. The guys did not want Steve in the band. Neal didn't want him. Greg didn't want him. They complained that he was a crooner, and they didn't want to do that kind of stuff. They wanted jam band time. And that's another issue, which I'll cover a little bit here. So, okay, what is it? Was Kane asked specifically by Neal, or was it the band, including the road crew, which I can honestly believe, because in those days, again, the manager handled everything. They could take a voice vote. They could draw straws. They could do, yes, what do you think of Jonathan Kane? Do you think he would be a good fit in Journey? And the road crew would say, yes, we've seen him on tour with the Babies. We like the guy. Let's bring him in. And so he could get out of this, though, and say, yeah, I asked him to join. And other people asked him to join. It wasn't just Neal. So that last sentence he could kind of weasel out of and say, yeah, I asked him to join. And so did Perry. But I'm still here, so I'm more valuable than anyone else when it comes to that past decision. my decision is weightier. And again, I've basically hired this entire band, which you can't argue. He's hired the entire band that he currently has. These guys, I think, were all in a band that Neal was in after Journey. Like Dean was in Bad English, and Todd was in Hardline. Jason had like a Toto connection and probably was recommended by somebody. But the other guy before Jason who played keyboards, Thibodeau, his last name was, that was like a Nashville Jonathan Cain hire. So Neal has come in and sort of remade the band in his own image. Arnell, he's certainly going to take credit for Arnell, and nobody's going to argue with Arnell. I'm just not sure he was the only person involved in recruiting Jonathan Cain in 1981. All right. So what does this, though, have to do with the lawsuit and all the allegations out there? What does this have to do with that? It kind of doesn't. It's almost like somebody who says, this is an Italian guilt tactic, because I grew up in an Italian family. After all we did for you, and you're not cleaning your room, and you refuse to do the chores you're supposed to do, we bought you this, this, and this. So in reverse, this kind of looks like, so leave me alone. I can spend money if I want to spend money. And by the way, I'm not spending money, but if I did spend money, I could spend money. I don't know. Is this, so this is basically, we're back to, John is just kind of like a guy who's in Journey, and he's making these allegations, these false allegations against me. And so now we're going to have a war of who did what in Journey. I've done more for Journey than anyone else. So everyone needs to kind of just chill and not worry about the hotel, not worry about the credit card, not worry about the private jet. No, just let me deal with that stuff. Okay, well, here's what's going to happen. Either this is all going to go bankrupt, or this isn't going to go bankrupt, because none of this is really happening. Now, if none of this is really happening, why would Jonathan Cain go to all this trouble to cause all of the turmoil in the band? Why would he do that? That doesn't make sense to me. He did it once and said, hey, you know, we kind of just decided that we were going to get over that first bankruptcy, that first credit card maxing. We're just going to get over that. So now we have a second one. And so he's decided to come forward at really bad time in the middle of the tour. I will say that about Cain. His timing was not very good. Maybe he was trying to send a message or make a point, but it makes touring very difficult. But my guess would be that things had gone south prior, because Cain insisted on taking a bus. And, you know, it does look really decadent when these guys get on the private jet, but Neal says it's all in the budget. It's already been accounted for. And John's the one who decided to take his own bus. And so, I don't know, folks. It's another day in the world of As the Journey Turns. That's all I can tell you. I don't see how rewriting history or emphasizing a point of history about Cain when he joined the band, why is that important to this argument about who's spending the money? I think what Cain just wants, again, and I've said this in a bunch of videos, is he wants a middleman. He wants an arbiter who's neutral, who's going to look at the credit card statement and go, okay, Neal Schon just charged $1 million on this credit card. That is a true fact. So that person could come forward, and it wouldn't be a war anymore between Cain and Schon. Schon would have to call out this guy, and what he'd probably say is, oh, the court forced him on us. He's Cain's guy. He's not my pick to do this stuff. And this never ends. I mean, this is gaslighting no matter how you look at it. And it very much mimics the political world right now. I'm so tired of people lying to me all the time. or trying to lead me down this road. And then when you get to the end, you're like, there's nothing here. The emperor has no clothes. So here's the deal. I'm hoping that these guys can patch things up again. I'm less, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm just thinking that this is a lower probability than the first time, because I kind of knew the first time, because I had some inside sources that were saying, no, they're not going to break up. This time, I don't know. This time, and I have some sources, and some of the stuff I've heard is bad. But nobody has said, yeah, they're definitely going to break up. It's more like, we're not sure. And this is affecting the people who work in this organization for sure. It's also possibly a reason why that tour in the UK got canceled. I got two different answers about that, and they were diametrically different. They were exactly 180 from each other. And it's people want to keep the narrative, right? You want to keep the positive press. At this point, you blew a hole in that, because when Kane came out, that's why I was just kind of dumbfounded by his timing to come out with that. But Kane said, yeah, I'm going to come out with it right in the middle of everything. And that was obviously thought out, I'm sure, before it happened. Maybe he just saw, hey, he's doing the same thing he did the last time, and we want to keep this band profitable. And if it's not true, again, why would Kane do this if it's not true? What would be his motivation? He's going to just ruin Neal Schon. Like, he and his wife, I mean, this would be the allegation that he and his wife, they both work for Donald Trump. They both dislike Neal Schon because he's a Democrat or whatever. You're just going to hear stuff like that from people who are just making simple assumptions. I don't know. I think John knows that Neal is kind of the franchise, and without him, it's ridiculous. You're going to have Journey without Neal Schon. But I used to think that wasn't plausible, but now I don't think they want to go that route. And I don't know if people would take Journey seriously if it was, Jonathan Cain and whoever. I just, who's going to play guitar? Some people say Miles Schon would be the new guitar player. This has been a rumor for a long time back during the coup, but I don't know. I think that plan now won't happen because too much time has gone by. I think they should just wrap things up after this tour. That's what I would do. And I know that's going to make a lot of people sad, but if you haven't seen Journey yet, hurry up and do it. So then you won't have to worry about it anymore. That's all I could say. All right, folks. Another edition of As the Journey Turns is in the can. Thank you for watching. Please support this channel. I need your help, folks. The algorithm, not my friend. I do things in a certain way. I know it doesn't help me. So I ask folks who enjoy the videos, who like my boring and crazy commentary, if you want to hear more of this, which I know it's a little bit sadistic, right? If you do like $1 a month or $5 a month via Patreon, or you get a YouTube membership, or buy me a coffee, which is a lot of fun because typically I get nice messages from people, which I'm not really used to. So I appreciate those. And it's a nice way. It's a nice way to start your day. You have a cup of coffee and you got a couple of bucks, and people are saying, hey, love your channel, man. Love those videos. Keep them coming. And so I'm trying to do that. Anyway, folks, God bless. Pray for the country. I'll see you soon.